The Girl with No Face, written and scripted by Leo Lee, is a fictional podcast miniseries done so in part with the help of a few close individuals of the writers. This podcast is independently produced and is a work of fiction. Any similarity to actual persons, living or dead, or actual events is purely coincidental.
The following is a dramatized reading of a fictionalized tale, some pertaining to real-life events that have been altered to fit the format of storytelling, while some plot points have been extracted from the journals of my kept records. Some are of my worst nightmares.
Scene 1.
Inside psychologist Dr. Charles's office, Matthew is sitting in a chair next to Dr. Charles.
Anything new? Still troubled? Tell me, what's on your mind?
Well, I've been seeing this girl very vividly at night, and it's almost like I know this girl, like I've seen her somewhere before, but I can't quite exactly pinpoint where I know her from, or remember her name, and half the time I don't even know if she's there or not.
Given what you just told me, I can tell you that this is a normal occurrence with people who suffer from chronic sleep narcolepsy. As your case shows, you show symptoms of visual and auditory hallucinations ever since you returned from deployment. Is that correct?
Correct, but I can feel her presence when she's near. It's almost like she knows who I am, or maybe I'm seeing things or something.
When did you start having these sightings?
I didn't start seeing her until right after I broke up with Rebecca. Even after the war, I would still have flashbacks, but it's never too vivid, and it was always in short spurts, never lasting more than 5 seconds. But after the breakup, I started seeing this figure, feeling her presence every night, and every time I tried to make out who she is or try to turn the corner to catch who was there, she disappears. But somehow I could still feel her presence somewhere close by. It scares me to death.
And are these sightings only, or are you able to hear them as well?
Yeah, when she's close by. I could hear very faint whispers from her, but was never able to make out what she was saying. Also, I feel like these whispers, it's like she is trying to tell me something repeatedly.
What's led to these sightings?
Well, right before the breakup, it got pretty rough between us. I knew what she wanted from me, and she knew what I wanted. But we were never able to commit to that. We would always fight and argue. Eventually, we stopped talking to each other, and everything just fell apart. Then one day, she just packed her stuff and told me we're through. And that was that. But it wasn't until a week later I started seeing her. At first, I thought she was at my balcony window. Then she was outside in the hallway. Then she's behind a bush at the parking lot after work. But then, the more I seek her out, the more I notice she wasn't there. To this day, I'm still seeing her everywhere, like she's watching me. I don't know what to call it. Maybe a haunting feeling that someone is stalking me?
This feeling you have, are you sure she's there? Sometimes we see things we desire, and sometimes we miss those people so much that we believe they are right there next to us. Is this person... Are you sure you know her?
I don't know. I think so. I feel like I know this person, but then her face always changes. I see her there, or maybe she's not. But then I'm not actually able to recognize her face.
You may have what's called prosopagnosia. Ever heard of it?
No.
It's also known as face blindness. In other words, the inability to recognize someone's face, or impaired judgment with differentiating faces.
What can I do to stop seeing her? Or maybe these sightings mean something else, something real, or maybe something entirely supernatural.
For one, I can send a referral to a neurological treatment facility for your health. It may or may not be hallucination, but I can assure you, you will be in safe hands. However, you have to go.
What if I don't want to go? Is there anything else I can do?
Well, we can try something now. Try closing your eyes. Imagine the girl in the room. Talk to her in your mind. Reach out. See if you can touch her. Then, when everything is set in stone, open your eyes. Did you see her? Did you feel her? What does she look like? Is she here now?
I see her, but her face is. I can't make out who it is. It's blank.
Okay. Repeat the exercise at home. In time, see if her face comes into fruition. And see if it changes or not. And if you can finally recognize who this person is, then you're okay. But if not, then consider my offer. Fair?
Fair. And what about the whispers?
Keep an ear out. Take notes. See what these whispers are trying to tell you. Maybe it's more from your desires. Maybe it's something you're reminiscing of. Try to make out what she's saying. Let's just hope it's not something else.
Will do, Doctor. Thank you.
Don't mention it. Oh, and by the way, your time is up.
Scene 2.
As Matthew walks home, pondering on his visions.
Half the time I want to believe in what the doctor says, and the other half of me just want to believe that what I'm actually seeing, this girl, everything I'm experiencing, the sightings, the whispers, that someone, something out there is actually trying to reach me, trying to communicate to me, trying to tell me something important, something I need to do. Do I have superpowers? Or am I just fucked in the head? I'm actually losing my mind right now.
Late at night, as soon as he returns, crashing onto his bed, tired but not tired enough, laying there, eyes closed, attempting to sleep. It wasn't long before he started to hear them again. Matthew stares at the silhouette in the darkness outside his balcony window. He tries to concentrate on the girl's face, but he cannot make out the details.
Who the hell are you?
For a brief second, the girl seemingly stares back at Matthew as she slowly tilts her head a little. She then proceeds to enter his studio apartment through the balcony.
That's right. Instead of trying to concentrate on her face, I should close my eye as the doctor said.
As Matthew's eyes shut, he imagines her. He tries his damnedest. Every time he reopens, her face is blank. Eyes closed once more, Matthew starts picturing Rebecca's face. Rebecca's face, and only just her face. He tries and tries again. And as her face finally comes into fruition, so he thought. Eyes open once more. He finally sees.
What? Why are you here?
I thought you said that was the last time, Matt. You said it was the last time, but you knew. You fucking knew you were doing it, but you still did it anyway, so why hide it? Why try to keep it a secret from me when you knew I would have found out eventually? Tell me. Tell me why.
Beck, I told you already, it wasn't like that. Look, we had a few drinks, she got drunk, she came up on me, she was crazy. I tried to stop her, but she kissed me anyway. Nothing happened afterwards, I swear.
I know how you are, Matt. Don't give me that shit like there's nothing going on. Once you have someone on your mind, you don't just put a stop to it. You become obsessed with that person. You did it with Janice, and now you're doing it again. You lied, Matt. You cheated on me. Isn't that enough for me to leave you? You broke my heart, Matt. I just don't understand why. Do you not love me anymore?
Look, you're being hysterical right now. Can we just both cool down for a moment and maybe talk about this in the morning? When we're both calm and clear-headed?
No, Matt. Forgiving you once was already too many chances for you. This time, there won't be any forgiveness left for me. We're through.
Beck. Beck.
As Matthew looks into the face of the silhouette, he realizes that this wasn't a dream, nor was it a hallucination, but in fact, very much real.
Janice. What are you doing here? Tell her what? Tell who what? Tell her. What? I don't understand. Please, just.
Janice approaches Matthew as he is sitting up on his bed. She leans in closer and eventually, with her cold, icy hands, caresses Matthew's cheeks, whispers into his ears.
Kill her.
Thanks for listening in to the Girl with No Face podcast. We hope you enjoy your stay, as every listener here means a lot to us. If you liked what you heard from this episode, please spread the word, as every supporter we get means the extra fuel needed to completing this podcast. Because this is an independently produced podcast, many hours goes into a very few individual. I didn't originally plan to make this a mini-series, but only as a final project from my professor. But with the help and support you all can give, I might even commit to completing this mini-series. Who knows, maybe one day you may even be featured on this podcast. And to that, happy frightening.